I was going through the comments on my channel recently, and I came across one that bothered me quite a bit. And it was from a decent, hard-working person who developed some serious medical problems that limited their ability to work, and were having a great deal of difficulty with the disability application process. And what bothered me was that they had a bunch of misconceptions about the disability process, and I think that was causing significant problems for them in their application. All common misconceptions that I see people have about Social Security disability, but sort of all wrapped into one. I've discussed these misconceptions in various videos in sort of a piecemeal fashion, but I wanted to bring them all together in one video in hopes that it will help people applying for disability. And I want to make it clear, I'm not criticizing or making fun of the commenter. Again, they sound like a decent, hardworking person who's doing their best to apply for disability. But I want to make this video to help people understand the disability process. And if you find this sort of thing interesting, you might want to subscribe to my channel. I generally put out a disability-related video every Friday morning. Now, I'm going to have to be blunt in this video, and that may offend some people. I get a lot of comments directed at me from people who are angry at Social Security's rules. And once again, I'm not the Social Security Administration Commissioner. Social Security has a $1.7 trillion budget, and if President Trump gives me a call and asks me to become the commissioner, I might consider it. But right now, I'm an Indian, not a chief. If you think that some things about the Social Security disability process should be changed, and I do, and if you want to make a difference, rather than whining on the internet, you should write your 2 congressional representatives, your senator, and the Commissioner of Social Security, who currently is Frank Bisignano. Now, to begin, Social Security Disability Insurance, SSDI, which most of the people who watch my videos are interested in, is an insurance program. To get a payout from this program, you must meet the citizenship requirements, which means you must be an American citizen or be a foreign citizen working legally in the United States, which generally means you're a green card holder. You must have the necessary work credits, and you must have medical problems that limit your ability to work so that you can only make less than what Social Security calls substantial gainful activity, which in 2025 is $1,620 a month, or $2,700 a month if you're blind. That amount will increase in 2026. Think of SSDI like fire insurance for your home. Fire insurance pays if your home is damaged by a fire. It doesn't pay for any other reason. As an example, fire insurance doesn't pay because you need the money. Doesn't pay because you don't like your house. Doesn't pay because you want to move. Doesn't pay because you've lost your job. And doesn't pay because you have family problems. It only pays if you have a fire that damages your house, and it will pay the same amount regardless of whether you're penniless and bankrupt or you're a billionaire. Similarly, Social Security disability insurance pays only if you have medical problems that prevent you from working. It doesn't pay if you need the money. It doesn't pay if you don't have transportation. Social Security doesn't care about those things. It doesn't pay and doesn't care if you have a family member who needs care. It is only an insurance program for people who cannot work because of medical problems. Also, like fire insurance, if you pay your fire insurance premiums for 30 years and your house never catches fire, you don't get your money back. Similarly, Social Security disability insurance is not a savings plan. If you pay in throughout your working life and you never develop medical problems that prevent you from working, you don't get that money back. You only get a payout if you have medical problems that prevent you from working. Social Security administers a different program that many people confuse with SSDI, and it's called SSI, which stands for Supplemental Security Income. It is not an insurance program. It is a welfare program for poor people. You must be poor, and I mean very poor, to qualify, and you must have medical problems that prevent you from working. The only similarity between the two programs is that they both require you to have medical problems that prevent you from working. Otherwise, they are totally different, and you must not confuse the two. Now, what does Social Security care about, and what don't they care about? What will help your disability application, and what won't? The first misconception is that 100% VA disability will count in a Social Security disability application. Social Security doesn't care if you're disabled according to the Veterans Administration. Social Security's position is that they make the decision whether you're disabled or not, and only they make the decision whether you're disabled or not. So anyone else who has decided that you're disabled, Social Security doesn't care, and it has no effect on your Social Security disability application. So that includes the Veterans Administration. It also includes your doctors, whether that's a workman's compensation doctor or your personal doctor or a consultant doctor. This claimant had had a doctor, one of their personal doctors, write a letter saying that they were unemployable, and they sent this letter to Social Security thinking that would help their application. Social Security doesn't care what your doctor thinks about whether you're employable or disabled or not. Social Security makes up their mind whether you're employable or disabled. Now, there is something that can be submitted by one of your doctors that Social Security really does care about and really can help your disability application. And that's called a residual functional capacity assessment. And on Social Security's website, you can download this form. It's a 6-page form for your doctor to fill out. I'll include a link to the form in the description to this video below. And this form asks your doctor about your work-related limitations due to your medical problems. This is exactly the sort of information that Social Security cares about and considers important. And Social Security considers your own doctor's opinion as more significant than a doctor such as myself who does a consultative examination. The reason being that your own doctor has known you over a period of time, has likely spoken with you and examined you multiple times, as opposed to someone like me who sees you only once. Now, there is no requirement for your doctor to fill out this form. Also, I became licensed to practice medicine on my own and began so in June of 1979. And from then up until today, I have never met a doctor who enjoyed filling out forms. So, if you want your doctor to fill out such a form, and I strongly advise you to do so, you must approach them gently. Be polite. Explain that you're no longer able to work, you're applying for disability, and if they fill out this form, it would help you a lot. Do not toss the form on the doctor's desk and say you need to fill this out. The doctor will likely tell you where you can go. Next, the commenter mentioned that they cannot do their old job. And once more, unless you're age 50 or above, Social Security doesn't care whether you can do your old job or not. What they care about is, can you do any available job, not just your old job. The person mentioned that their old job involved working with dangerous machinery and that they had to work very long hours, 60 to 70 hours per week. Now, Social Security does care about the ability to work with dangerous machinery. They consider that a work-related ability. And I often see people who shouldn't work with dangerous machinery, such as people who pass out frequently, unexpectedly, like people who have epileptic seizures. And in that case, I always put on my report that the person cannot work with dangerous machinery. However, Social Security doesn't care if you have to work extended hours at your old job. Social Security's definition of a job is 40 hours a week, working 5 days a week, 8 hours a day with 3 breaks, a 15-minute morning, 15-minute afternoon, and 30-minute lunch break. If, in their opinion, you could meet those requirements, they will not consider you disabled. Finally, the commenter mentioned that they had a special needs child, and I really felt for them when I read this. But you must understand, Social Security doesn't care about your personal or family problems. It sounds cruel. Perhaps they should care. Perhaps this is something that people should be writing letters trying to get changed. But that's how the current law is written. I didn't make these laws. The legislators that you voted in have made these laws and kept them on the books. And if you don't vote, you should be ashamed of yourself, and you certainly have no grounds for complaining about the laws in this country. So, one more time, to qualify for SSDI, Social Security Disability Insurance, you must be an American citizen or a foreign citizen working legally in the United States. You must have the required number of work credits. You must have medical problems that limit your ability to work so that you either cannot work any job or you can earn less than what Social Security calls substantial gainful activity, which currently is $1,620 a month in 2025. The other things Social Security simply doesn't care about. Well, I hope this has been helpful, and as always, remember, if it happens, it's possible.